When somebody chooses to own what would be considered a special car, it's normally because they share a connection with that car far beyond money. It's been my experience as I meet these owners that they share a lifelong connection with that car, and that car provokes emotions in them, well, that humans can't. Owning it, driving it, starting that car, simply looking at that car provokes emotions in them that you've got to see to believe. Today, we're going to meet a man that has a connection with not one special car, but an entire collection. Now, if you love your car, there's no better way to show your car how much you love it than getting it serviced correctly. And when it comes to a diesel, there's no better place to take it than United Fuel Injection. Ken, what should people look out for in a diesel if they own one?
What it is, Aaron, basically is clean fuel. Filtration is most important. Now, if you do happen to pick up dirty fuel or your vehicle does a lot of kilometres and you start blowing smoke, you need to replace your injectors. Now, if you do need your injectors replaced, the best thing to do is go for a remanufactured injector. Now the thing here is that they look brand new. It's got a genuine nozzle in it. When it is tested on a calibration test machine, a new code is written to the injector. Now that compensation code is coded into the ECU of the vehicle when they're installed. Now what that does is balance the engine. It makes sure that each cylinder is working in unison with the other, and you're going to get a smooth running, perfectly sounding engine.
Now, when it comes to the Toyota HiLux, which we feature on today's show a little bit later, the injectors in it are actually Denso injectors, aren't they?
Absolutely, 100% they are.
That says a lot. Now, the actual remand injectors, are they as good as a new injector?
They are as good as a new injector, yes.
They just don't cost as much, do they?
No.
Love your work, Ken. Thanks for that. So if you want to save some money without compromising on quality, make sure you get the blue Denso Exchange Injector from unitedfuel.com.au. Now, I'll tell you what, if you've ever seen a Ferrari driving down the street or a Lamborghini and thought, oh, that's a cool car, I want one, here's a man that actually has both and a lot more. Now, my mum always said to me, Aaron, you are who you hang out with. And right now, I'm going to tell you, I feel like a rock star. Tim, you already were my rock star friend. You've got your Ferrari, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you've been surpassed now by our new friend, or my
Danny.
new friend, Danny, who has a man cave and 5 sexy ladies.
Thank you very much.
Now, Danny, where are we? What is this place?
Well, this is my home, and it's something that I've dreamt of for a long time, Aaron, so I always wanted to have a nice man cave.
Spending time with both of you, forgetting what a Ferrari's worth, you have an amazing passion for a Ferrari.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know, for me it's the amazing engineering, and it's just the beautiful lines and the shapes, and it's like a piece of art. And when you drive it, you know, you can't help but smile.
Now, it goes without saying that your cars are head turners, but what I find even more impressive is the memorabilia you have in the room.
Oh, fantastic, yeah. Well, I wanted to create a whole theme. So it was not just a garage with cars in it, and I wanted to just put all the right signage and the old signs. So I've been collecting them for a long time. Some of these signs go back to the 30s. A lot of them are the old enamel signs, very sought after and very collectible today. And they just form part of the feeling of the place.
Now, Danny, Tim's been my, I suppose, Ferrari guide throughout the years. One thing that blew me away was discovering that there's a lot of the car, if not all of the car, is handmade.
Absolutely, yeah. And a couple of the cars here are also, there's a lot of aluminium in them. So you don't want to go pushing them if they break down, because you'll dent the panels. But yes, they're handmade, hand-beaten. You begin to appreciate the artwork that's gone into designing that car.
I think one of the things with these cars is they're built for speed and they're not built for comfort.
That's right.
You know, everything about the Italian supercars is all about lightweight, high performance, and comfort is very low on the priority list.
Very low, yeah. And luggage.
No luggage.
No luggage.
Limited amounts of luggage, but hugely powerful. They stop well, they handle well,
yeah.
And the driving experience is great. But you don't want to go for a 3 or 4 hour drive in them. You want to go for a short, spirited drive, and then come and put them away.
Now, I tell you what, it's just so nice to see you guys just talking and forgetting I'm here. Is it because I drive a Rav?
It's because you've got no hair.
Don't know what you're talking about, Tim. Now, before we go to the break, later in the show, you're going to walk us through and introduce us to each of your beautiful ladies. What would be your favourite bit of memorabilia?
Okay, yes. There's an old gas pump over there that is unrestored from the 1930s, and it's even got a stained glass, and it works in here because everything is so pristine, and that is just the way it was found in the back of some junkyard.
I tell you what, I feel like that gas pump at the moment, fellas. That's how I feel. Sounds like Danny's got some pretty special supercars, and he does. He's going to take you through the amazing story behind each and every purchase later in the show. Now, when it comes to a workhorse, most of us would think of the good old-fashioned Toyota HiLux. After the break, Allan's going to introduce you to the brand new model.
With over 6 years in the making, a $1 billion spend on R&D, over 1 million kilometres travelled globally, a new engine, greater towing capacity, and a raft of accessories, this is the all-new 2015 Toyota HiLux. This go-anywhere, do-anything legend has been a part of our motoring lives for over 30 years. And when they release an entirely new car, well, that keeps the folks at City Toyota pretty busy. This is the first completely new HiLux in over 10 years. It's the Toyota HiLux SR5 automatic 2.8-litre turbo diesel, and it was made in Australia for Australians. Toyota has over 150 Australian-based engineers. They make one HiLux engineered for rugged countries like Australia and another model for the rest of the world. Their theory is, if it can survive Australia, it can survive anywhere. This model was thrashed over 650,000 Ks of the toughest terrain Australia could throw at it before being released. And the result is fantastic. And when we say all new from the ground up, that's exactly what we mean. This isn't just an old platform that they've rejigged a little bit. Have a look at this. See this Toyota decal? This is the only thing from previous models to make it into this brand new 2015 car. Inside all new HiLux is pretty special too. It set a new standard altogether, and not just for Toyota, but for all manufacturers who would dare to enter this segment in competition with it. There's an iPad-type touchscreen on the dash, which we love. There's, of course, the air conditioning, power steering, cruise control, all the mod cons, and a best-in-class 7 airbags standard across the entire range. There's even a beautiful little cooler here in the dash, which is fed by the air conditioning to keep your water and soft drinks icy cold. Nice touch. There are quite a few model variants from which to choose. There are narrow and wide body versions, as well as single, double and extra cab styles. The range starts with the 4x2 Workmate single cab chassis 2.7-litre petrol and steps up to the SR and SR5 grades. Towing capacity is now up to 3,500 kilograms for manuals and 3,200 kilograms for the auto models. Whichever variant you choose, they're all looked after by the team here at City Toyota. If it's Toyota sales, service, finance and advice, it's City Toyota, Sterling Highway, Netherlands and Newcastle Street, Northbridge. Go to citytoyota.net.au.
Now that looks like a workhorse. The one thing I love about Toyotas is when they make a change, well, it's normally something special. If you would like to get yourself a great deal on the all-new unbreakable Toyota HiLux, make sure you see our buddies at City Toyota. Go to citytoyota.net.au. Now, I've been telling you that there's nothing better than seeing the love that someone has for their machine, and there's no better place to experience that than attending a live event. Thanks to United Fuel Injection, here are our 3 favourite live events happening around the country. Fans of classic British motoring, the Hunter Regent All-British Display Day is coming to the Central Coast. See some of Australia's best Jaguars, Rovers, MGs, Lotuses, Morgans, Minis, Rolls-Royces, Nortons and plenty more from our Commonwealth siblings. Bring your British car or bike down for a great day out for the whole family, or just come along for a look at some amazing machinery. It's on Saturday the 30th of July at Foreshore Park in Newcastle. If hot rods and customs are more your thing, you want to get down to the Cyclone Show and Shine in Townsville. Open to all makes and models of street machines, classics, hot rods, customs, muscle cars, exotics, bikes and plenty more. If you've got a machine you want to enter, it'll cost you $20. But if you want to come down and enjoy the show, you can do that for free. So make sure you bring the whole family. Don't miss all the action on Sunday the 31st of July at Strand Park in Townsville. The big one's coming, Mopar Sunday at Willowbank Raceway. This is a huge event featuring a show and shine, dyno shootout, drag race and swap meet. It's free to display your car and enter the judging for the show and shine with plenty of prizes up for grabs. Racing starts at 8 AM and it's all happening on Sunday the 31st of July at Willowbank Raceway in Queensland. So they were our 3 favourite live events happening around the country. If you have an event coming up you'd like us to attend or promote, we'd love to hear from you. All you've got to do is go to our website, zoomtv.com.au, tell us about the event, give us some pictures, maybe some video, and we will do the rest. And if you're going to attend one of those events on the weekend, make sure you do us a favour and tag us in. It'll be like we were there. At the start of the show, you met Danny and his amazing collection of supercars. Well, behind each and every one of them, there's an amazing story. But you're going to have to wait for that until after the break here on Zoom. Earlier in the show, you met my new best friend, Danny, and of course, my friend Tim. Well, now it's time to meet their friends, these beautiful ladies. Danny, talk me through this car.
Okay, beautiful little car, this one here, 1977 Maserati Merak. It's a lovely 6-cylinder V6 carburetted car.
Now, Tim, are you a fan or?
I do love the Maserati Merak, yeah. It is just a classic shape.
And this is the SS, the more powerful one.
What made you buy this car?
I just thought Maserati are a long way behind Ferrari and Lamborghini in value, so the investment potential, but also I grew up as a kid loving these cars, always wanting one of these.
Okay, now I wanted to start with this car. It's time to move on and meet one of the Ferraris, guys.
Sure.
Yeah.
We've got to look at the Ferrari. I've got to tell you now, this car reminds me of, I've got to say, Magnum PI.
Aaron, that one over there is Magnum PI, the 308, but we'll get to that. This is Don Johnson. This is Miami Vice, mate.
But this is a classy Don Johnson, because I think he had the original Testarossa, and this is the hand-built version. This is the serious car.
That's right.
V12, good brakes, handles well, is an amazing piece of equipment.
Well, it's classic Pininfarina design, and the Testarossa was a very famous car for Ferrari, and then they just remodelled it in the late 80s with a Testarossa, and then what this is the last of the Testarossa, and as Tim said, hand-built, better braking, better engine, better suspension, bigger wheels.
Okay, well, I'm sure Don Johnson, well, he felt like a man in one. I'm itching to get the Magnum PI, though. This is Magnum
Tom
PI.
Selleck.
Tom Selleck.
Very cool car.
I see moustache.
Tom Selleck made this famous, and the reason that I don't have the roof on this at the moment is this is seriously designed for 5'7" Italian men. You can't drive it with the roof on. Hence why Tom Selleck never had the roof on.
Tell me about it, Tim. Give me the update.
This is just, I mean, this is probably one of the best known Ferraris. It's just a classic V8. These were very popular sort of into the 80s and just a really good, honest car. They're pretty easy to drive, very reliable, and just a classic car.
Okay, guys, enough talking about, well, I suppose the Celic. I want to talk about the car that has caught my attention since I walked in. This is like your favourite pair of shoes, your jeans that you just look amazing in. This is the car, well, that I'm happy to look after you if you ever need someone to drive.
This, yeah, to me, this is a wild beast. It is an extraordinary car. Lamborghini Countach, V12, loud, obnoxious.
First car with scissor doors.
Oh.
Yes.
Batman.
Batman doors. First car in history to do 0 to 100 in less than 5 seconds, 450 odd horsepower, and as Tim said, it's wild. It is a wild car.
I think that this car's perfect for going and grabbing a coffee at a drive-through coffee because the window comes down this far. So you can put your hand out to grab the coffee and you're looking at the coffee and you can't actually get it through.
Get it in.
Are you
so
telling
then
me
you'd have to open the door and then sort of like grab the coffee out of there and...
So what you're telling me is this is all you've got to get in and out of the window?
That's right. That's how it was designed.
Now, getting to the end of the collection.
The best.
The
we'll
Ferrari.
save the best till last.
Yes.
Tell me about this car.
Oh, this is a beautiful car. I struggled between these two as to which is my favourite, but this is a magnificent car. 1978 Boxer, 5 litre, 12-cylinder, flat 12, carburetted car, tubular frame chassis, so it's actually a race car. And I do want to show the engine because it is a work of art. So what we have here is 4 triple-barrel Weber carburetors for the carby people amongst your viewers. So 4 triple-barrel Webers, so every cylinder has a carby throat feeding it.
Just one for you, Danny, which is why red? Every single car is red.
I hate red. Hate red. But the thing is with these cars is they're so rare and so difficult to get that when one comes up for sale, you really got to take it. And it just so happened that every one of these, when they came up for sale, was red.
Okay, well, it's time to hit the big question. Which car can we go for a drive in?
I reckon we go for a bit of a wild run in this one here, actually. Hey?
There you go.
That's
you can
your
tell,
car, isn't it?
I'm sending you mental images like that's the one I want to go in.
I figured.
Now, after the break, we're going to go for a drive in a car that just is beautiful. Now, if you've got a beautiful car or anything that zooms, we'd love to hear from you. All you've got to do is go to the website, zoomtv.com.au, invite us along and show off your collection. Welcome back to Zoom. On board this week's Zoomaholic 1985 Lambo. Danny, this is awesome, this car.
The Countach is regarded as being the world's first supercar. So this car is from 1985, but the first one's from the 70s. It's pretty Spartan. It's the way the Italians designed them in those days. It's just one massive engine and a gearbox and big wheels.
What is it that makes you love this car?
Oh, just the massive raw machine that it is. It's just a beast to look at. It's a beast to drive. It's a piece of motoring history, and it's a very rare car. There was this particular model, there was only some 600 made for the world, only about 80 or 90 right-hand drives. So this is one of those.
It's just raw, isn't it?
It's just raw. You'll hear it now. We need to be on a racetrack to really get the full rev range of this car. We only went to half the rev range. So yeah, it's a handful because it's so powerful. It's got great tyres, great fat rubber, and it's got really good brakes.
What's your favourite thing when you drive the car other than that? I don't know if people at home can actually appreciate the thumping vibrations that are coming from behind us. Listen to that.
It's so much harder to drive than a modern day car. There's nothing computerised at all. You've got to make every decision. You've got to do everything. There's no systems that'll correct your mistakes.
Okay, now it's time for the Fast Five. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. What was the first car you ever owned?
A 1971 Valiant VG Pacer. orange in colour.
So, how do you move on from the Valiant mate to this?
The Valiant, well, you see, I was just a good Italian boy living in an Italian suburb in the 70s.
Yeah, so, you got to have the Val.
Got to.
What car would you want if you could have any car other than the cars you've got?
Oh, really? Wow. Oh, I reckon I'd want to go for something really wild like the Bugatti Veyron.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be...
I'll tell you what, when you get the phone call through, we've got one available, I'll tell you what, the missus is going to make sure you don't get that message.
Yeah, that's right.
Or what is your opinion of the worst car? The car that if you got the phone call on, you wouldn't take it.
Oh, the one that if I got told, Danny, do you want to come and buy this old square Volvo, I think I'd have a problem with that.
What car do you currently drive now as your daily drive?
Well, I've got a Range Rover Sport, which I've had for 5 years now, and...
You should try a RAV.
I should try a RAV.
What is your biggest fear? Final fast car question.
Oh, jumping out of a perfectly good aircraft, mate. I just couldn't do that.
I don't understand. See, that's what... We've been invited to a few things. Don't invite me, I'm not going to come. If anyone invites me to go parachuting, I think it's just stupid.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, mate, you've been a champion. Thank you for having us through your man cave. Thanks for showing us your beautiful collection of cars. And thanks for the invitation to come out. I've got to thank Tim, but I've got to thank you as well. Thank you very much,
Pleasure,
sir.
Aaron. Hang on, mate.
I'll whack to, mate.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
What an amazing day. I do not want it to be over, but it is. Now, thank you very much to Danny and his family for having us out, showing us through his home and, of course, his man cave, and introducing us to each and every one of his supercars. It was a special day. It was very special that I got to drive in his Countach. It was very special that one day he's going to let me drive it. I know he will. If you know someone with something very unique, we would love to have them on Zoom. To find out who they are, you're going to have to do us a favour. Take a picture, upload it to Instagram or Facebook, tag Zoomaholic. We will do the rest. Until next week, bye for now. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you do anything that Zooms, make sure you do it safe. And stick around because there's a lot to come on 7 Mate.
And that's a wrap.